Drummond.
Very much, Madam Deputy Speaker, and it's a pleasure to be called to speak in this debate. And can I congratulate my honourable friend, my honourable friend for North Somerset on bringing this bill forward. We recently cooperated on what became the Down Syndrome Act, and he again has found an area where there's a need to support people through better legislation. Representing a mostly rural constituency in Meon Valley, I am aware of the needs of ensuring that we have a robust and resilient distribution network for our utilities. We are in that period of the year now when strong winds and driving rain can threaten infrastructure with thousands and thousands of miles of cable which crisscross the constituencies of everyone here today. And the weather also makes it more difficult to repair damage, so I would like at this point to thank the people who put a lot of hard work to maintain our infrastructure and appreciate the speed with which they're usually able to make repairs. Given these challenges, naturally the utilities will want to develop their infrastructure and build more resilient networks, and there are also areas where development requires greater capacity. Indeed, I'm aware of one major development in Hampshire which is threatened by the lack of national grid capacity and feeder capacity on the lower voltage lines. We cannot have development that's not backed by infrastructure of all kinds. However, it has to happen on a fair basis and respect the communities and people whose lives can be disrupted by this work temporarily or permanently. There are also private companies trying to get into the market that have their own speculative projects which give rise to applications for development and compulsory purchase. Now, I have a particular concern that this bill could also help with wider issues of utility provision and the disruption it can cause, and I'm thinking of water. We at present in Hampshire have proposals to lay a pipeline across the county. We have a new reservoir being built in my constituency to the north of Havant. Since that application was granted, we have a new proposal which will require development consent order for a pipeline from that reservoir to water treatment works at Otterbourne in the constituency of my friend, the Honourable Member for Winchester. Southern Water are already sending out letters to residents warning them that their land may be needed, and I've been contacted by distressed constituents who are worried that they're going to be presented with compensation which does not reflect the damage loss of the land that it will do to their business. And nowhere, as my right honourable said, for North Somerset, particularly farmers with animals. And I was quite distressed to hear what the honourable friend was talking about with the farmers. One of my constituents has some very valuable llamas that she has no idea where she's going to put them. So I hope that it will be possible to arrive at a pipeline route which interferes as little as possible with constituents like this, and there's some way to go towards the route being finalised and the DCO process starting. So I certainly hope that if this bill proceeds, it will be possible to have an amendment which takes in water, and it need not add to the complexity of the bill or the cooperation of the compensation mechanism. The movement of water is massively infrastructure heavy, and the work required to do it is every bit as intrusive as that for gas pipelines or electricity pylons. I hope ministers will listen not just to pleas from my honourable friend for action on electricity and gas, but also keep in mind water companies too. We must have the infrastructure we need to have a secure and modern utility provision, but it has to be done fairly, and people who have to give up part of their land must be compensated in a fair way for the loss and any ongoing impact.